is an overview of the Cwicly List Block. Whether you're looking to structure information in a logical or linear formation, or you need it for navigation, or to give a step-by-step procedure to follow, the list is the block to go for. In Cwicly, you get to create ordered and unordered lists, as well as what we like to call iconed lists. An ordered list orders list items by number, mainly used for when the order sequence of items is important, thus the items need to be numbered. A familiar example is a step-by-step instruction list given when a user has just downloaded a new plugin or software. Conversely, an unordered list doesn't order list items since they are placed in bullet points. Essentially, the sequence of the items isn't important. For example, when you're following the ingredient list for suspiciously delicious pancakes, the order isn't important. Thus, they're usually presented in bullet points. Lastly, an iconed list is ordered by icons, which can be customized on a per-item list basis. Of course, you have the option to create lists without bullet points, numerical order, and icons, which is simply a list with plain text. In the Gutenberg Editor, we can add a list block. As you can see, to fill in list items, you can simply directly type in your content. To add list items, simply hit Enter and a new item will be created. You can choose to add as many as convenient. To remove unnecessary list item fields, simply use the Delete button on your keyboard. You can of course create sublist items, which is great for a clearer understanding of your list. This can be done by simply selecting a list item and in the block menu toolbar to select the Indent List Item Space icon. However, to better see that your sublist item is indeed sub, add some indent spacing. To reset the list item's position, you can simply select the Outdent List Item backspace. We will start by seeing how this block can be customized, and then move on to the different types of lists, ordered, unordered, and iconed we saw earlier. In the Primary tab, we can see the text, link, and background color properties. Once selected, you can see that it automatically applies to every list item. In the List panel, you get to control the look and structural design of the list block. First, the Inline List toggle, once toggled, sets your items horizontally. For the moment, our items look squeezed together. You can remedy this by setting an indent, which will space out the items. Let's now remove both the inline and indent properties. Below, you can structure your list in columns, which can come in handy if needed. You can then use the spacing and indent to create space between the row and column gap. Specifically, spacing creates a space between the rows, while an indent creates a space between the columns. If we remove our current number of columns, you can see that the spacing property maintains its spacing between the rows. However, the indent property now can be used to create a margin on either the left or right. As a reminder, margin creates space between block elements, whereas padding creates space around an element's content inside of any defined borders. Next, we can change the style of our list. By default, the disk style is selected. However, you can choose from the drop-down menu another style that you might prefer. I do want to point out that these styles are specific to the unordered list type, since the list selected by default is unordered. Thus, these styles vary from unordered to ordered. Here, You can even set none, which is great to create simple lists with plain text. Below, you can choose to have a different list position. Inside means that the bullet points will be inside the list item. As it is part of the list item, it will be part of the text and push the text at the start. On the other hand, outside means that the bullet points will be outside the list item. The start of each line of a list item will be aligned vertically. The outside list position is set by default. Of course, we can also add hover effects, so when the user interacts with list items, their touch has a nice effect. First, we can swiftly set a transition duration in Effects and Transitions panel and set it to 0.4 seconds. Switching to hover mode, in the Typography panel, we can set a blue text color. Switching back to normal mode, now when we hover on list items, they light up in blue, which is pleasant. We can now move on to the ordered list type. You can change between different list types in the menu toolbar by selecting the different appropriate icons. So we can select the ordered list icon. As you can see, the bullet points get replaced by a numerical order. However, our sub-menu items do not get affected, since you can choose to have them ordered or unordered. The choice is completely up to you. In the List panel, we can choose to change the ordered list style depending on whether you want your list to be ordered in a decimal, Roman, or alphabetical order. Of course, we provide both upper and lowercase versions for ultimate flexibility. For the decimal style, you can choose what your start value is. Additionally, you can toggle the reverse list numbering to reverse your list's numbering order. Now, we can move on to the iconed list by selecting the Happy Chap icon, which basically activates or deactivates the icon property, which you can see by the icon toggle being activated or deactivated accordingly in the Icons panel. To actually see an icon, remember to set an icon size and color. Of course, you can change the icon by opening the icon library and selecting the one that suits best. Next, with the spacing property, you can create a space between the icon and text. Below it, with the V position, which stands for vertical, you can vertically place the icon to your liking. However, the greatness of the iconed list doesn't stop here. In the specific icon settings, you can specifically choose different icons for different list items. So say, I wanted my second list item to have a cross icon instead of a check mark. I can simply open the icon library, select the desired cross icon, and remember to activate it. And there, our second list item is controversial. You can choose to customize the icons of however many you want. There is no limit. And the best thing is, Cwicly automatically updates the number of list items that you can choose to customize the icons for. So if I add 3 more list items, the icon customization automatically updates with 3 new items. And that's it for the icon list style. Before we move on to the linking list items and then the responsive side of things, I do want to point out that whatever your style is in one list or in another, it gets reflected in all of them. So don't be afraid to play around with the different styles and see which one perfectly fits your needs. As for links, you can link specific list items by selecting any one. And in the menu toolbar, there is the link icon which, once selected, opens up a text space for you to paste in the URL link you wish to link. You can also choose to open this link in a new page by toggling the option. I will link another list item to better demonstrate the fact that they can be individually linked. Let's see how it works on the front end. When we select both these links, they work as intended. Last but not least, the list block is of course responsive, meaning on different screen sizes, the appearance of the list block can be modified suitably. You can change the typographic style of list items in the typography panel. So you can set a specific font family, a specific size you would like to see, set a font weight, capitalize, and so on. So switching to mobile view, I can set a smaller spacing, modify the icon size, and our list item's font size. As you can see, when we changed between different screen sizes, our list icon takes on the different appropriate appearance that we styled. And that's the way the Cwicly List block works.